This isn't a game, they're just playing in our faces. NVIDIA just reported the biggest quarter in its history, $57 billion in revenue, record profits, up 62% year over year. The stock jumped 5% after hours. And then the broader tech market sold off. S&P 500 dipped, but Larry Page, co-founder of Google, he added $7.6 billion to his wealth in the very same 48 hours. The wealthy are using the stock market to take our money. So I had to ask, what actually happened this week? The thing is, I'm watching this from Spain. I'm sort of on the outside. And when you're on the outside, you can sometimes see things a little bit more clearly. Good news should mean good things, right? Record earnings, innovation, growth. But somehow when NVIDIA reports record profits, the market sells off and billionaires get richer. So I dug into what may have happened. It's a system, and once you see how it works, you can't unsee it. So let's have a look. On Wednesday, NVIDIA reported $57 billion in revenue. Their stock goes up after hours. It's great tech news, right? Weeks earlier, lizard in a human suit, Peter Thiel's hedge fund, Thiel Macro, sold off its entire share in NVIDIA, about $100 million worth. Also, SoftBank, one of the world's most prominent tech investors, liquidated its stake in NVIDIA, all $5.83 billion worth, gone. Both sold their stocks at the peak. Now, we're in this broader tech sell-off, and it's an absolute roller coaster. And the market, it's unsure about AI valuations now. So retail investors are panicking, but Larry Page, his wealth hit $252 billion. He's up $7.6 billion this week alone. And that's because Alphabet stock is at an all-time high of about $300 a share after Warren Buffett bought in. Even though the market is unsure about AI valuations, optimism in Alphabet's Gemini AI led the stock to rally. Okay, so NVIDIA has record earnings, the market sells off, and Larry Page gets $7.6 billion richer. If you weren't sure if money is real, this should give you an idea. It's smoke and mirrors, and the 99% is paying for this illusion. Retail investors chase NVIDIA gains. They buy high, and then they sell when the volatility is high, and they lose overall. Billionaires own the platforms. They benefit from AI advances, and to avoid the volatility, they know what's going to happen before it happens. They capture gains without the risks. They are not playing the same game that we are. I don't think they're playing a game at all. They're just using a proven method. In the 2008 financial crisis, the average American lost 40% of their wealth. It's really interesting that when that was happening, I didn't really feel it. I think it was because I worked in luxury hospitality in South Florida. Staffing and hours were not cut at all. Hotel occupancy didn't really seem to be affected by any of it. The hotel I worked at was a country club and a hotel. And every day I saw billionaires and celebrities, and they seemed completely unfazed by the state of the economy. They arrived each morning in their Bentley convertibles, which in my opinion is South Florida's version of a Toyota Camry. These people, they golfed until midday, and then it was off to either lunch or to the spa, and then tomorrow was more of the same. And what I came to understand is that's where they make their deals, over 18 holes and over lunch. While the average person was tightening their belt, people like Warren Buffett were making more money. In 2020, the market crashed. Retail investors panicked and sold their stocks. And then billionaires, they added $1 trillion to their wealth by the end of that year. It was a good year for people like Lex Luthor because of Amazon's stock price. And now NVIDIA has reported record earnings. The market is volatile, and Larry Page adds $7.6 billion to his net worth in 48 hours. This is a pattern. Here's how it works. First, there's some big news that drives market movement, like NVIDIA's earnings this week. And then retail investors react emotionally to that news. They either buy the hype or they panic and sell. While all of this is happening, the insiders exit at the peak. And then the volatility triggers broader sell-offs, and then the stock drops, and then the billionaires are positioned to capture more gains without the risk. It may not be insider trading, rather in the know positioning. I don't know. But on the bright side, Page, he pushed Bezos down a few notches on that wealth list. A win is a win. Apparently, Americans have more money in stocks than ever before, but Americans aren't getting any richer. And that's because the system needs retail money flowing into it. When you buy stocks, you create a flow of money. You provide the exit for the people who bought the stock earlier. You're the buyer when the insider wants to sell. The stock market isn't designed to make you wealthy. It's designed to transfer your wealth to the people who are already well positioned. So, what do we do with all this? Because I don't want you to feel helpless. I want you to see the system so that we can stop playing this game that the elites have given us to keep us busy. I'm going to tell you something small that each of us can do. But first, I have to introduce myself. If you're new here, hi, my name is Kina. I talk about hard things with a soft voice. Thank you so much to everyone who has supported what I do with a coffee, a super thanks, a like, or even a share. You are why I do this. A while ago, I chose to start sharing products and services that I use and trust so that I could avoid paywalling my content. A product that I use every day and I trust is Proton. I use Proton products to help with my online presence. Proton is based in Switzerland. They were created through public crowdfunding. Their suite of products uses end-to-end encryption. Effectively, I am replacing companies that sell my data with Proton products. They have a free tier. If you're looking for one of the more robust plans, I keep a link to discounts in my bio. Right now, they're running holiday promotions, so if you've ever considered switching to a paid plan, now is a really good time to do it. I do earn a referral when you use my link. So what do we do with all of this? Because who wants to complain if they're not going to do something about it? At least that's how I feel. First thing, we have to stop feeding the system. You don't have to play the stock market game. You don't have to chase the NVIDIA gains or panic sell on volatility. Your wealth doesn't have to depend on whether Larry Page has a good week. What if instead of investing in stocks, we invested in each other, in local businesses, in skills, in systems that don't require billionaires to win for us to survive? Instead of crowdsourcing, what about crowdfunding? It's a way to invest in our community. Now that nursing is no longer counted as a professional degree, a community crowdlending program could be a great way to improve your area's health outcome while building a long-term investment for yourself. I hope that someone watching this video will comment what that would look like so that we can all see, so we can build on this idea together. I can't wait to see what you come up with. Now that the H5N5 bird flu has jumped to humans, I mean, this is not the time to reduce the amount of nurses, but here we are. Why did SoftBank sell its entire NVIDIA stake leading up to the earnings report? Why do connected insiders always seem to exit at the peak? We deserve to know when the game is rigged before we lose out. I guess we already know the game is rigged, but we deserve to know more information. Living in Spain's countryside, I've seen what it looks like when a society doesn't center everything around the stock market, when your healthcare isn't tied to your employer, when your retirement doesn't depend on market performance. It's not perfect by any means, but I can definitely appreciate it. By the way, the trailer for the new Hunger Games just came out, and that movie was filmed here in Asturias, Spain. This place is stunning. I am so excited to see the movie. This week, NVIDIA reported record earnings. The market sold off. Larry Page added $7.6 billion to his wealth, and Forbes has a live wealth tracker. Money is not real. This is not a game, but they are definitely playing in our faces. The question is, are you going to keep playing it blindfolded with your arms tied behind your back, or are you going to build something different? Let me know what you think in the comments, and share this video with somebody who needs to see it, because the more of us who understand the game, the less power it has over us. I will see you very soon. Okay, bye.